Gemini, good morning here. Thanks for joining me here at the Cable Show. Brendan, thank you as well. Exciting couple of days so far. I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of and heard a lot about multi-screen, 3-screen, so on and so forth, but they all seem to be kind of the same. I noticed you guys are doing something a little different, Gemini. Tell me about it.
Yes, so we're a software company. We've deployed something called the Multiscreen Interaction Platform. And what the Multiscreen Interaction Platform does is break two paradigms in the operator's infrastructure. First of all, it enables personalization for individuals within the household. And the second thing it does is orchestrate any service, not just video, across that individual's user experience. So I'm going to show you here our deployment at Columbus Communications. Brendan Paddock here is the CEO. Columbus is the largest operator in the Caribbean region. And I've actually got Brendan's home account here of Triple Play Services, and you can see here there's Brendan and his wife Renee. I'm going to log in as Brendan. I hope you don't mind, I know your password, but I'm going to log in. And you can see here what's different about what we're doing is it isn't just about video everywhere. We've now enabled the full Triple Play using our Mint platform, using Brendan's existing voice and video and messaging infrastructure. So this is Brendan's home phone in Trinidad, 1-868-222-0728. I can make a phone call with that, 802-0466. And I'm calling just as if I was calling from my Trinidad home line. We've taken VoIP infrastructure and we can now have home phone to go. And actually I've not seen that anywhere here at the show. In addition to that, there's a call coming in from Trinidad and Tobago. You don't need to answer that, by the way. And
always ignore me.
You also have seamless access to your call history from any screen, anywhere, and your voicemail. We're integrated to the voicemail servers as well. Our platform provides a generic orchestration engine for any service to expose it to any screen. And if that isn't enough for you, go back to the touchpad. We of course have what everyone else is showing, and that's the video everywhere. Which in this case, we have integration to their back-end legacy EPG system, which is provided, I think, by TV Data. You have the ability to personalize, because I'm logged in as Brendan. Click on my favorites, and instead of navigating 700 channels, I only see my favorites.
So, Brendan, how important is it for operators like yourselves to be able to offer multiple services in this multi-screen environment?
Well, Columbus is basically in 23 markets in the Caribbean, Latin America, where it is basically dominated by true incumbents. 125 years in business, legacy networks. So we position ourselves as the innovators. So this is very much part of our core strategy. We aim to be the disruptors as opposed to disrupted. So we're pretty confident this is really a disruptive technology which is going to differentiate ourselves. We're still in huge growth mode, so we're not talking about net subscriber losses. We don't have sort of the proliferation of direct to home, over the top, that sort of thing. But those are all trends we're seeing. Over the top, not just video, but voice and voicemail. We're seeing smartphone, obviously, just adoption rates are huge. Tablets are everywhere, and more people just want anything on anything, anywhere, which is sort of the buzzword of this whole convention. So we think we're out ahead through our partnership with an innovative partner like UXP, and it's a true differentiator for us in the marketplace where we serve.
So you initially launched the first phase of the trial back in January. What's the initial feedback, and where do you stand now?
Well, we have about 1,000 friendlies, let's call them on, largely high tech users, ICT user groups within the region. They have their own Facebook page. Whenever there's a bug or an error, it reports back automatically, and we've been patching those. So although we've been at it for 4 months with the launch, we've sort of been adding new, so like just the other day we added the PC module to it. We already have it operating on Androids and iPhones, it's operating on iPads and other tablets. So we're going live in about 2 weeks to basically our full subscriber base of about 500,000 users.
Talk to me a little more about the iPhone or the mobile device app.
Sure, and in fact, this is a great opportunity for Columbus and any MSO. What I showed you on the tablet is essentially extensible to any device. What makes this really interesting is all of a sudden, Brendan has a full complement of Triple Play services. He can put on the 10 million mobile devices in the region. He's now an over-the-top provider, right? So instead of using Skype, why don't you take your home phone wherever you want to go, and don't pay for roaming charges, when you're traveling. In fact, we use these phones when we're down at the shows, get on Wi-Fi, and I can call people from the Caribbean. They already know it's me, even though I live in Toronto, because I've got my Flow to Go account. So it's a massive opportunity for them to not only fight disruption in the cable space, but to disrupt in the wireless space as well.
Is this a question of additional revenue generation or value-added services, or a combination?
It's both, for sure. We currently have about 17% landline penetration, which is very low. But in the Caribbean, they still have local measured service, which means it costs you money to call across the street. So with this app, we're going to be able to essentially eliminate not only long distance charges, not only minutes charges and roaming charges, but even local calling charges. So again, we think it's disruptive as opposed to being disrupted.
So as I said earlier, there's a number of folks here showing their multi-screen video capabilities. You've got somebody over here showing multi-screen, multiple service capabilities. Why would somebody go with just the video?
Well, I don't think anyone, I mean, it's an option to just go with the video, but from us, what was really key to us is that Gemini and his team came in and made this work over all of our legacy systems. We didn't change a thing. So billing system, provisioning system, it's all integrated. So we think it basically opens the world to, just what I said, anything on anything, anywhere. And that's what consumers are demanding, whether you're in Trinidad or Boston.
So as operators then migrate to next generation networks and network equipment, is your platform extensible to those?
Absolutely. I mean, we built it generically, not knowing the service infrastructure we'd see here. Actually, we're doing 3 trials up in Canada right now, and the operator brings what they have, and we want them to make investments in whatever new technologies that they want to make. Our job is essentially to have an abstraction of those services underneath. If we encounter systems that we can't integrate to, then we haven't built a platform that can be extensible, and so far that hasn't been an issue. So I think we've done a good job so far.
Excellent. Brendan, Gemini, thanks for joining me. Good luck with the rest of the trials.
Thanks, Eric.